Here we go. Wednesday, December 22nd. Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards.
In the building.
Mr. Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon. Man, how good does it feel to get to this end of the year, man, and see that our show, our network, what we're doing is steadily getting better, Feels good. I feel the festive is tomorrow, so I'm excited for that with my guy Maz. I got a haircut, but I noticed somebody else.
Oh, man.
Somebody else. They got something smooth going on. Tell me about that wicked awesomeness.
Let me tell you, I had Megan before the show just kind of touch me up because, you know, I'm so gorgeous over here.
Oh,
right?
wait a minute.
I got all of it going on. Tom Mazawey over here looking real good. Today's the final show for me for the year, so I wanted to get all touched up, Braylon, and looking good for the holiday season. You know, just in case, so Santa Claus can come down and, you know, I wanted to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I look so good today. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8.
Yeah,
7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
I felt the same way. I felt the last couple of days like because I usually get my hair cut on Wednesday, but
you look great today. By the way,
I appreciate that, man. It was a business.
It's a no hat day.
Yeah,
it is a no hat. I got the hat here. It's around, but it's a no hat day. It's been a business day, so I had to get one. First 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I said, man, how do you work in the salon and look like that? So I feel much better and refreshed now. By the way, wicked awesome. My mom says it all the time now. So
isn't it such a great saying?
She said it to me in the kitchen yesterday. I was like, wait, what?
It's fantastic. Wicked awesome, Tom Mazawey.
Hey guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Be nice to people. Get out there, buy your stocking stuffers. Maybe get a Lady Jane's gift card for your stocking stuffers.
Look at that. I mean, that's always needed. And as far as stocking stuffers go, no easy transition to that. I was going to think of something that was all brilliant.
Can I shout the great Tom Mazawey out? Tom Mazawey, look at this guy. He got me a hat. Look at this lovely guy.
Oh, man.
How about that?
I actually love wearing it. I wore it this morning. I'm wearing it now. I wore it today.
That's great.
I love it. I love that hat. That's authentic, too. I see the NE on it.
Fish, you're staying real good over there, too, man. You're looking good over there. Feeling good.
Got that energy, man.
Well, I got a booster yesterday, and it's working well. Yeah.
There you go.
Nothing bad's happened yet, so we'll see.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. I do want to say this about our audience. I'll probably say it at the end of the show, too. I went back this morning. I had a couple of minutes, and I just went through the last couple of weeks of numbers on YouTube, actually. Just stunning to see the growth here at Woodward Sports, but for us, too, and we do this show, so this is the one I'll focus on. But it is just unbelievable to me that you guys have been able to find us. Yeah. You guys have stuck with us. And the growth from where we started to where we are now is something that I am actually shocked by. I am shocked how many views we are getting on the 2-hour show. The individual clips, those will run wild here and there. But it's the 2-hour show that people will give, 10, 12, 15, 20 minutes, the entire show, 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
That is really special, and I cannot personally thank you guys enough. However you're viewing us, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the network, however you're doing it.
Twitch.
Just thank you, man.
There you go, buddy. Yeah, and thank you to those individuals out there that support us from day one or whenever you came on. Thank you for the support whenever you've come on. But also, man, we got to give a shout out to people that make those clips, man. You got Alex Mayer sitting right here to my right. You got Easy in the back. You got Nick Leach. You have Justin, who's in charge of pretty much all the graphics for the show, man. It's not a complete show without those people pitching and making those clips that people are able to jump on and see. So we appreciate you guys as well.
This is an incredible team here, man. And if you know anybody, let them know about us because we really do feel like we're building something here at the network and we can't do it without you. Yeah. But with that, we will get into some sports talk. Great show for you today, but we're going to start with the NFL. 2 games on Tuesday night. And we got one game. We saw the last 4 or 5 minutes of the Philadelphia Eagles and Washington football team game. But the Eagles beat football team 27-17. You love it when I do that, don't you? I mean, that's what it is. It's the Eagles versus football team.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
So the Eagles win 27-17. The Eagles now move to 7-7 in the NFC. They are alive in the NFC. Also, the Rams and Seahawks. The LA Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 20-17 10. It was a 3-3 game at halftime yesterday, Braylon. Real ugly game.
Yeah, it's an ugly game. I think it was one of those games where let me start here. I told you, the Rams is something about them. I can't put my finger on it, but I actually picked the Seahawks yesterday to beat the Rams. I said that on the show. I was coming in expecting to be able to say, I told you so. But just looking at it, they don't strike me as a team that can get it done in the playoffs. The fact that they don't have a running game, it's not going to work for them. The players that they've picked up, Odell Beckham had another one of those games where you didn't know he was on the field. Von Miller, similar kind of situation with him as well.
He got a sack.
He
kind of walked into him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It wasn't like a dominant type play. It was more of a kind of like, oh shoot, you're there. 5
minutes in the pocket, kind of sack.
Exactly, one of those coverage sacks.
Exactly,
like it was good coverage sack.
Hey, Stafford hit Quandre Diggs for a nice pass.
He did. He's used to them being on the same team. But there you go. Here it is, December. Obviously they won, but they did not look special. Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald were the only players on the field that looked special.
Matthew Stafford looked pretty good in the second half at times. I mean, some of these throws that he was making.
I love the breakdown of how you said that. Matthew Stafford looked pretty good in the second half at times.
Yeah, because some of the things that he does, there was one throw specifically over the middle to Cooper Kupp that actually Dan Orlovsky broke down on. Jared Goff could not make that throw. 90% of quarterbacks in the NFL
95
could not make the throw to Cooper Kupp on his second touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Those are your three that can make that throw. That's it.
Yeah,
and that's why I say there are times where he's special. Look, in the playoffs, he's not going to be able to turn the ball over, but 21 of 29, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick to Quandre Diggs that we mentioned. But the LA Rams are here at 10-4. Look, Seattle had everything on the line last night. They were playing for their lives.
They were down 7, and they didn't call that pass interference play.
That was
Did you watch it? Just put it up there, Alex.
Yeah.
Tell me this is not pass interference. It reminded me of the Cowboys-Lions.
Was that Ebron?
No, it was our other tight end.
Pettigrew.
That's
right.
Pettigrew.
Yeah, Pettigrew.
Check this out. Look. This is not called pass interference.
And even if the referee did not see,
they have the instant replay.
Yes.
How do you not see it?
How do you not?
Look, he tackled him.
Even if the referee did not see the arm swatting down on Dallas's arm here, like even if he doesn't see that, how many times have you seen an underthrown ball where the receiver comes back into the defender? The defender, by the way, who didn't turn his head around, that's an automatic penalty 99 out of 100 times. That play last night was the one time that it didn't. And ultimately, even on the it was third down the other way prior to this.
How much?
And they called a pass interference penalty against Seattle, which kept the Rams on the field and led to a touchdown.
YT Sparty, he hit it on the head. Took the words out of my mouth on YouTube. Stafford is happy he's playing on a team that gets preferential treatment because they want the Rams to make the playoffs. The Super Bowl's in L.A. this year. If that was the Lions, there's no penalty either.
If that's the Seahawks, you don't get that call.
No.
Right?
It's uncanny.
Yeah, no, I'm watching this play, and I'm flabbergasted that professional refs can literally look at that play.
Terrible.
Look at a play like that and not make that call.
Those guys shouldn't ref anymore the rest of the year.
Guys that coach in the PSL can make that call.
Yeah.
Or refs in the PSL.
The problem with it is there's no accountability. Nothing's going to happen to these refs. They're going to play net. They're going to be on the field next week. They're going to be on the field
because
next week.
Because that's the agenda. But that's also part of the agenda. The agenda, as you just said, is they're trying to help the LA Rams get into the playoffs as easy as they can so that they could potentially have a chance to be like Tampa was last year in Tampa Bay playing in the Super Bowl. They can play at their own stadium in the Super Bowl, and it can finish the narrative that was all season with Matt Stafford and playing at SoFi.
Marcus says it happened to Justin Herbert as well. He doesn't get the calls. The Chargers don't get the calls the Rams get. The Chargers don't even have a home field, basically.
What I would do if I was the NFL, and I think they can do this immediately, because there is too much at stake now, especially with wins and losses. Jobs are won and lost this time of year. And honestly, these leagues are in bed with gambling now, too. And there's a lot of money exchanged in hands last night because the Seahawks didn't cover. If they score a touchdown on that drive, they cover.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be in bed with all of these people, I think you have to give the coaches the ability to challenge
everything.
Penalties. The targeting penalty, which there was a targeting call last night against a defender for the Seahawks. It was not targeting.
Yeah.
But you can't challenge that. That pass interference penalty, Pete Carroll should have been able to throw the red flag and challenge that. Take another look at that.
Upstairs should just say, we got this.
Exactly.
We got this.
But if that doesn't happen, the coaches should have the ability to do that. And you can change that prior to the postseason. There's too much at stake. Guys, I want to ask you about Cooper Kupp as well. Big game last night. I got to get to a break. 9 catches, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Is he the best receiver on the field in the NFL, numero uno, better than anybody in the league right now? Braylon, I want your answer to that.
I got a hot take on that.
All right, we'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey guys, it's Maz for MyBookie.ag, our studio sponsor and the place I put all my sports wagering in. I'm going to get back on it tonight. We got college football, and tomorrow you got Thursday night football. The Niners and the Titans.
Oh, the Titans, baby. A 3.5-point underdog at home.
No. Tennessee's home?
Tennessee's home.
Ooh.
Home dog.
Home
baby.
dog on a Thursday night. I like it. Go to MyBookie.ag, especially if you're a first-time gambler, because you can use the promo code Woodward, and they will double your first deposit. That's right, double it, all the way up to $1,000. That's your money to do whatever the heck you want to do with it. Don't forget, football coming up on Christmas Day, a doubleheader. The Packers and the Browns playing. Then a great nightcap, the Colts and the Cardinals. Ooh, man. That is a Merry Christmas to me. Go to MyBookie.ag right now. Use the promo code Woodward and tell them your good friends at Woodward sent you. Woodward Sports. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. 1-800-270-7117. That is the number if you have a problem gambling.
I'm doing my quick math here. 9 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So he should be at 1636.
1625.
1625.
1625, 1964 for Calvin, and 339 yards away from beating Calvin Johnson's all-time record for yards in a season. 3 games left.
It's amazing that Cooper Kupp is having the type of season that he's having. And legitimately, no one is talking about him being the best receiver in the NFL this year. They're not talking about him being second best receiver in the league this year, or third or fourth. It's almost like it's reverse discrimination. I know everybody's about to lose their mind when I say that, but it's just one of those things. In some position, it's like you overlook sometimes how good an individual is that can be white. He's
a white wide receiver.
Like, you don't think about white wide receivers. I mean, there's more now that are playing their butts off. You have him. Thielen got hurt earlier in the year. Thielen's really good, but this joker can play. When Calvin Johnson was on that Megatron type run, no pun intended, legitimately it was all throughout the league. Is he going to beat Jerry Rice's record? Is he getting 2,000? And the Lions, like, for what the Lions are, you know how they are nationally. People aren't paying attention to the Lions, but to take shots at them losing a lot. Everyone was talking about Megatron. When it was Julio Jones, it was, oh, man, Julio Jones, the best wide receiver in the league. Is he going to get to 2,000? When it was Antonio Brown, when it was Odell Beckham in New York with the show, everybody that has been in this space where they are really chasing Jerry Rice, or they're chasing that unicorn that is 2,000 yards, it's been nothing but they're the best wide receiver in the league. It's nothing but all the respect goes to them. Follow the chase. Cooper Kupp, he's a system guy. They run a system out there. Matt Stafford only looks for him. They don't double coverage him. You know what? That's the other team's fault. That's the other fault, that they're still idiots enough in Week 16 to not double coverage Cooper Kupp, he's having the best season in the NFL this year at the wide receiver position, and he's the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL this year, because I still can't put anybody above Maz's guy, Devontae Adams. I can't put anybody above Devontae Adams. But Cooper Kupp is having that type of year where he needs to have the respect, and people need to start paying attention, because he's put the whole league as well as the whole fan base on notice.
And everybody knows he's getting the ball too, right? I mean,
I don't understand.
You want to talk about, target share. I mean, even last night,
these guys been working together
13
since Stafford got traded on vacation. They've been working together since he got back.
There hasn't been a game, one game this year
where
he had less than 10 targets, and in that game he had 9 targets. Yep. I mean, everybody knows he's getting the ball 13, 15, 10, 10, 13, 13, 9, 13, 12. I mean, that's his target share.
Also with that, the production is at a high efficiency level. It's not like he's catching abundance of passes, but he's dropping some passes in there. He's missing some balls. He's running some bad routes. He's not producing at times. Every game, 9 for 136, 2 touchdowns. 13 for 123, 1 touchdown. 8 for 129, 1 touchdown. 7 for 96, 11 for 122, 11 for 95, 7 for 115, 10 for 156. He is producing at the highest mass level that you can produce at. He is 3 games away from and 336 yards from breaking Calvin Johnson, which puts him 15 yards under 2,000. And
to pick up on what you're saying, though, these aren't cheapies either.
No.
Look, Cooper Kupp, he's not catching 3-yard outs or 5-yard outs. These are his longs, right? Okay, this is the 42-yarder, 44-yarder, 43-yarder, 22, 29, 52, 59, 30, 33, 35, 22, 44, 56. The guy's getting down the field every single game.
Now, he breaks the record of our guy, but he's doing it in 17 games. Now, I know it's still going to be a record, because when I was a kid, O.J. Simpson went 2,000 yards in 14
you
games.
took the words out my mouth.
But I still say Eric Dickerson is phenomenal. Walter Payton, phenomenal. Barry Sanders, phenomenal. They did it in 16 games. But this guy's going to do it in 17 games, and he will break it.
Yeah.
He will break it, and it'll take 17 games. I just want everyone to know there should be a little bit of an asterisk there as well.
I think right now you probably are right, Tom, just because of the matter of who we are. We like to argue as sports fans, right? We argue about numbers. We argue about records. That's what we do. One of the old pastimes of sports fans is to argue about numbers.
What else we got?
Historic numbers, great records,
best teams, best quarterback ever,
years,
the whole 9 yards.
I'm not putting an asterisk by him, not me.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it will get there. But the next year or 2 or 5 years, somebody's always going to say, he beat Calvin Johnson's record in 2021. However, Calvin did it in 16 games. Like that extra line to the record will be added for at least the next 5 years.
And I understand why people come from that mind of thought, and I understand it. The reason why I won't put an asterisk by it is because Calvin Johnson had 336 yards in one game. They literally threw the man 40 passes. Like Matt Stafford was just throwing the ball up, which actually hindered Matt Stafford in terms of going through his progressions. But with Cooper Kupp, he had Robert Woods on the precipice of having another 1,000-yard year. He had other tight ends. He had Odell Beckham, who he's trying to find out as well. And he's one-on-one. He's making it happen. He's efficient in the way in which he's doing it. And, yes, he's getting some 13 games, some 15 games, but he's had some 12 games. But he's catching 12, but he's catching 13, but he's catching 10, but he's catching 9 when he has 10 attempts. It's just the efficient level of how he's doing, and no game was over the top gaudy to where you're looking at like a. No. I'll give you an example. Jeremy Gallon broke the single season record in Michigan for reception yards in a game. He had for receiving yards in the season. He had 1,380. He beat somebody else's record. I don't know who it was, but,
I got an idea.
But he beat somebody's record.
Single season, though, not career.
He had 400 yards against Notre Dame. That stuff doesn't count. No. Like, it's great, but that does not count. So that's why I won't put an asterisk, because it's high efficient. Like, the efficiency level is what you want to see. Them being efficient is what's going to help them in the playoffs. That's be the only edge that they'll have, because I don't think they have any edge in terms of the consistency level of how they played this year, but the efficiency of Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp is dangerous.
Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp. They're going to be 1-2 in the record books. Who threw him the ball?
Matthew Stafford.
Pretty good.
Isn't that something? And you know, where Matthew Stafford's getting some MVP talk, and of course Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, even Jonathan Taylor getting some MVP talk, where is Cooper Kupp's name in all of this?
It's going to be there.
He's having one of the most historic seasons we have seen in the history of the NFL, especially, Braylon. I mean, you know how hard it is to play that position, and some of the names on this list, right? Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer. Julio Jones will be a Hall of Famer. Jerry Rice, Hall of Famer. Antonio Brown.
Look, you want to get going?
You want to get going, and
his 6-year run has never been done.
Antonio Brown has the 4th most receiving yards in a season.
5th.
And he's got the 9th most. He's in the top 10 twice. There is no other player, not Jerry Rice, not Calvin Johnson, not Julio Jones. Antonio Brown is the only player in this top 10 twice. You tell me he's not a Hall of Famer?
He had it going. He kind of got in his own way, but he had it going for a while.
Did he get in his own way, or did he just want to get paid?
He got in his own way.
Maz, I love when you say that, only when we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because anytime else you say it, I say, you know what? The guy got in his own way. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rooney family have been notorious for effing up as it relates to players.
I get that. Le'Veon Bell and him.
Le'Veon Bell, A.B., Santonio Holmes, and Willie Wallace. And the list goes on. Insert wide receiver here. Insert wide receiver. James Conner. Insert player here that they didn't want to pay.
Even did it to a certain extent with our guy Larry Foote. That's why he went to Arizona and Detroit.
Lamar Woodley, another guy. So when it comes to the Steelers family, you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Like, this is the run I was talking about. 14.99. Where's the touchdowns at? There we go. 14.99 and 8. 1698 13, 1834 10, wow. 1284 12, 1533 9, 1297 and 15. Run was amazing.
I want to bring in Chad Johnson. Come on in here with those cans, can you? Is he still there? Bring these cans in here, Chad. Let me see this. Yeah, come on. We're on, baby. Come on. I want to see him.
Let's do it.
I want to see him. We want to show a little love to our new sponsor, Syntron. Look at this. Syntron, more than just a beverage, it's a lifestyle.
Stuff is legit.
Syntron doesn't just fit into your lifestyle, it enhances it. Encouraging look. You feel great. Look at that. Let's have some of this right now.
As we speak,
we'll break it over. What's that there, Chad? Revitalization?
Yeah, it says I've been working since 2:30 this morning.
Yeah, baby. I need that. A little revitalization, everybody.
I take a little bit of this too, man. It's go perfect for the new year, man.
Follow them on social medias at Syntron World, and we certainly thank them for their new partnership with Woodward Sports Network. We will cheers to that. Absolutely. Salute, everybody. Look at this. This is fantastic. Salute. All right, we're going to come back. More Cooper Kupp and what last night's games mean to the NFL playoffs as well. Syntron World, baby. Here we go.
Kayla in the building.
Syntron World and Woodward Sports. Hell yes. Let's go.
That's wicked awesome.
Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Ermanni and Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey alongside. Once again, you can follow him on social media at Syntron World. We certainly appreciate their new sponsorship here at Woodward Sports Network.
It might go pretty good with another one of our sponsors, huh?
Little Gypsy Vodka action.
Little Citron action, man.
I
was told that it went well, so we shall see on the holidays.
Absolutely, no doubt. Continuing on with the Cooper Kupp, just a couple of things. You know, you mentioned Cooper Kupp being a white wide receiver, and it's just something like, look, I mean, you know, we see Adam Thielen and maybe even just because he's out there.
Jordy Nelson when he was doing it. Jordy Nelson's another
Cole
one.
Beasley. You know, those guys have been in that little role, like Cole Beasley or Scotty Miller. We saw in the postseason last year, didn't do much.
Ed McCaffrey, he was one of the first ones back in the day.
But those are some old ones. How about this? I can't remember, and I'd love for somebody to chat in on the YouTube chat. When's the last white defensive back? I mean, Jason Sehorn, I think, is the last one.
New York Giants Super Bowl again. Oh,
Harmon.
His claim to fame was he locked down Randy Moss. Remember the NFC Championship game? The Giants steamrolled. I know you know New Yorker steamrolled the Giants, and then they got steamrolled against the Baltimore Ravens. But Jason Sehorn and Randy Moss had 2 catches that game for 12 yards.
I literally think Jason Sehorn's the last white defensive back I've seen in the NFL.
Maybe the safety, Adam Archuleta, but
I don't know.
They've had some safeties.
I don't consider the safeties.
Yeah, they've had some safeties.
Like cornerbacks.
Harrison Barnes.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. Harrison Smith, excuse me. Yeah, but no, cornerbacks, that might
be Jason Sehorn.
And it's a funny thing because it is this notion. Like, if you want to take it there, it is this notion that
I mean, we're just a couple of buddies talking.
And I don't
white men can't jump.
Yeah. But it's funny. And I don't feel bad after I heard it from Bird. Like, whenever I would play a team in college or wherever, whenever you see a white guy at DB, don't get me wrong, I've been hit hard as hell by some ends and some linebackers. But DB is like, hey, man, just come on, throw the ball over here, quarterback. But I didn't feel bad after I watched Larry Bird say the same thing in the 80s. He was like, I got this little white guy on me, man. I felt so disrespected. I said, if a white guy can say that about a white guy, I don't feel so bad.
No doubt. Yeah. And some people are chatting in about John Lynch, but Lynch was a safety. You know,
linebacker / safety. Yeah.
I can't think of one outside of Jason Sehorn. I literally think he's the last one.
It's like they're like extinct for real.
Yeah, I mean,
but they make damn good safeties.
Yeah, they do. They lay the lumber, guys. So after last night's game, here's the way it looks in the postseason. We'll put it up on your screen right now. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, let's start in the NFC, because in the NFC, that's what really was determined last night with those 2 games in the NFC, divisional games between football team and the Eagles. Both teams on the outside looking in, but Eagles are 7-7. They got a shot. They're alive. So Green Bay, number 1 seed, only bye right now. Remember, after last year, there's an extra playoff team, but there is only 1 bye. So the 2 seed would be the Dallas Cowboys. They'd play the Vikings. The 4-5 matchup would be a divisional game in the West, Arizona and LA Rams. And then you've got the Cardinals. 3 teams in the NFC West in the postseason right now.
As we said at the beginning of the year. Best division in football, bar none.
So the 49ers would play the Bucs. Those are good matchups, too. Those are good first-round matchups as well, because I don't really care for the Vikings. I want the Cowboys to move on. I don't really care for the 49ers. I want the Bucs to move on. And I don't really care for the Arizona Cardinals. I want the LA Rams to move on.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Let's ask a real question. Are the Bucs in trouble?
Yes.
Are they, like,
they are now?
Yeah, I think
the Bucs will stumble into the playoffs from being the 1 seed for a large part of the season. From being the 1 seed, what a difference injuries make in December, man. Like, that's why it's so amazing to see, you know, the players that operate at a high level for 16 games, for 17 games.
Look who they just signed.
Like they just signed, if I'm correct, they signed Le'Veon Bell, and who was cut from Baltimore 4 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Know, that's a problem. And if you go back to the Le'Veon Bell signing, and he's been out of football for a reason. Look, the Baltimore Ravens have no running back. They have no running game, and they cut or released, however you want to, term it, what term you want to use.
Terminate, cut.
They
release.
let him go. Yeah. They let him walk.
Release.
They let him walk for a reason.
They got Latavius Murray. He's okay.
And Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, he's playing. There's a couple of the old guys, Devontae Foreman, playing for Tennessee. These guys that you forgot about are starting to come back. There's also someone else that came back and played.
Oh, yeah, Adrian Peterson.
No, there's someone else this week that led the rushers. I got to look it up.
The funny thing,
Duke.
Oh, wow. Duke Johnson from Miami.
Duke Johnson led all running backs.
He was
this
drafted
week.
by Cleveland Browns.
It's unbelievable.
Either way, however you want to look at it, point being is, what will Le'Veon Bell give you?
Nothing.
Legitimately. I mean, I do like Giovanni Bernard.
Right.
He's a serviceable back.
It's garbage.
Again, yeah. I mean, could Giovanni Bernard give you what
no.
Devontae Freeman gives to Baltimore?
Yeah, maybe a little.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm correlating it to.
Maybe Brady can make something out of Bell. Maybe he can throw to him like he was throwing to Leonard Fournette. Maybe he can revive him. Who knows?
Maybe he can be, or maybe Antonio Brown turns into that alpha that he was in Pittsburgh.
So here's one. This is what I'm interested to see. Like, everybody talks about Brady, but whenever people try to take shots at him being the GOAT, it's always, well, he was in this system. And then you look at him, he goes to Tampa, and he has all these Pro Bowlers. Like, they always try to take shots at the system or the guys he plays with, correct? Well, if he can take this team with the injuries that they have, Mike Evans is only out for the next game. He's day-to-day. He's not out for the season. And also, Antonio Brown is back. If he could take this offense and he can get to the NFC Championship, or he can get to the Super Bowl, my God, would you have to get this man some credit?
I mean, look, everything.
Godwin's out, Fournette is out.
Yeah.
And he needed those guys. Like, that's how Tom Brady's system worked. You had a running back out the backfield that can catch and run and set people up. He's been doing that for years. He's turned Leonard Fournette into that. Chris Godwin is a guy that he really believes in. Look, he was second in the league in catches so far this season. These guys are now out. These guys will not be back. So it takes away his security blanket. It takes away how his system works. That's why I'm very interested to see what happens with him moving up forward in the playoffs.
I almost feel like Antonio Brown becomes the single most important player the rest of the way at the NFL.
Yeah.
Because if he comes back after having 3-4 weeks off, and we saw, I forget who the running back was. Maz, maybe you can help me with this. Remember, he just played at a different pace. We talked about this. He had a couple of weeks off, and he came back. Oh, it was Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, when he had 230.
Dalvin Cook had a couple of weeks off, and he just looked like he was playing at a different speed than everybody else who had been going, and grinded. If Antonio Brown can come back and look like Dalvin Cook did when he came back and just go, and play at a different speed, then I think Tampa's got a shot. I mean, you'll get Mike Evans back eventually. You got a healthy Antonio Brown.
You still got Gronk.
You still got Gronk, and maybe Cameron Brate gets thrown into the mix here a little bit. If you can get anything out of that running game, because one of the things that Tom Brady has benefited from this amazing resurgence of Leonard Fournette is that play-action game. That's one of the reasons. I mean, you have to defend against Leonard Fournette. Will you have to defend against these guys running the football for the Bucs? I don't know.
Hey, you were talking about the healthy side of things, talking about when you're refreshed, when you've had a couple weeks off, and you jump in there with guys have been there. Remember Antonio Brown early on in the year when he first came out? He was a leading receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a couple of games off as a leading receiver, because what happens is when you go through training camp wears on you, and then the season starts. So as guys were still going straight through, he had a couple of weeks off, so he was able to get that training camp off of him a little back and be fresh. Now he's had another 3 games to sit out and get yourself back into position to be healthy, to be relaxed, and to be fresh. Like you said, this could be something interesting.
I wouldn't count the Bucs out, man. They still have that defense. They haven't played at their peak, the secondary especially. I just think they still got some. They got some stuff left.
Hey, look, there's no way I'm ever counting
a
Tom Brady team
exactly.
out. But the question was, do you have some concerns about the Bucs?
Correct.
And yes, I think you can have.
When you lose your 3 best players besides your quarterback, there's going to be concern.
There's concern. Yeah. Are you counting them out? Are they done? Absolutely not. There's no way. By
the way, Chris Godwin is a free agent. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Chris Godwin's a free agent.
I think anytime you have to sign somebody after an injury like that, I don't know. I just don't know.
I feel bad for him because he was franchised.
Yeah.
Now he's on his own. He has no contract, and he gets hurt. That's why, and here you go, Bray. That's why you can't be mad at these guys that want to get paid.
100%.
Yep, because he's screwed now.
Yeah, I think the big thing as it relates to guys that want to be paid and then guys get injured, I think the way to look at it is if an individual has done enough things for you as a fan, for us as analysts to see, and then, he kind of makes a mention about getting paid, but he's still respectful in the process. then you have to be lobbying for that individual or set individual to get paid. I never heard Chris Godwin say one thing. You got to lobby for individuals like that. Now, individuals that take away from the team dynamic, or they do things all the time, like they just may not show up, or they're posting on social media about the problem as opposed to keeping it in-house. Guys that distract from the team, those are the guys that you say, you know what, you're a real piece of work, whatever. But those guys that are very quiet.
That's T.O.
And
that's what your dad don't like about T.O.
Yeah, T.O.'s one of them. He's different. Like some guys are special though. You can do that.
Well, let me ask you about Antonio Brown too, because I mean, look, Bruce Arians. I don't believe that Bruce Arians wants Antonio Brown on his team. I think he's really, really upset about this fake COVID card thing. And if it were up to Bruce Arians, Antonio Brown would not be on this team. But God bless him. He admitted it. He's like, the football team needs him. That's why he's here. You know, I mean, that's really what it is. We'll talk about that and get into the AFC side of things next. Talking some football on a Wednesday.
Don't feel bad. Antonio Brown made the Pro Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. And I played with him in Cleveland. So yes, that's a fact. You're okay with that.
Ermanni Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Didn't get much of a chance to dive into this yesterday, but you did bring back Antonio Brown after saying that he screws up one time and he's done. So what made you decide to give him another chance?
Well, the history has changed since that statement. You know, a lot of things went on last year that I was very proud of him, and I made a decision that this was best for our football team.
What was the decision-making process for you like, knowing that some people might go back to those comments you made publicly about Brown and say, wait a minute, hasn't this guy had enough chances?
I could give what they think. The only thing I care about is this football team and what's best for us.
I love that, and that's Bruce Arians. This is what I love about it. You may not like what Antonio Brown did by supplying a fake vaccine card. But if you're Bruce Arians, at some point you have to swallow your pride a little bit, to me, and your responsibility is to those other 52 guys on that roster. And if I'm one of the 52 guys on that roster, I don't care about the fake vaccine card. I care about winning. That's to me. And I think when you see Godwin go out and Evans go out and Fournette go out, you're going to try to take a stand on a very controversial issue that is running rampant in this country. People are talking about this. I don't think that's the sword you fall on. Good for Bruce Arians.
I start with this. What Antonio Brown did was some BS. Let's start there. What he did was some BS. What Aaron Rodgers did was very deceptive, but what Antonio Brown did was slightly worse because he actually faked his team out, as well as the NFL. So it was some BS what he did. With that being said, this is a tough and trying time. Like, people don't know what side to stand on, what to do, what to get around, what's safe, what's not safe, bad advice, misrepresentation, etc. Now, with that being said, last year you bought on Antonio Brown because who begged to have Antonio Brown on the team? Guy by the name of TB12. TB12 begged to have Antonio Brown on the team, and guess what it did? It worked. Mm-hmm. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 in the playoffs at the end of the year and 1 right at the end of the year. So he had 3 within December to January or January to February. Had 1 in the Super Bowl. He showed you that he can be there for you in the big moment. He showed not only Bruce Arians, he showed his team. He showed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that, hey, you know what? In the big moment, look, this guy may be a headache. You think Antonio Brown's the first headache in NFL history? Mm-hmm. He is far from the first headache in NFL history. But sometimes you have those headaches that you know. Look at T.O. You were just talking about. T.O.'s a huge headache, but what did T.O. do? T.O. in the Super Bowl gave them every opportunity, at least from an offensive standpoint, to win that game. He's a headache. But
he was even a headache for the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. He didn't show up because he's mad he wasn't first ballot, which he should have been, which was some BS. But so with this, Bruce Arians said, you know what? Sometimes you have to have these headaches on the team. Sometimes you have to put up with him. He's the guy you got to put up with. But I guarantee you there was a long conversation with TB12, Bruce Arians, and AB in the room at the same time. And it was like, blah, 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 insert expletive here and what we expect. So if I'm Antonio Brown or if I'm Tom Brady, he better be sleeping under Tom Brady and Giselle's bed every night, or sleeping at the facility from now until Super Bowl, or when they get put out.
Or just pay a chef.
At the very least, and quite frankly, quite frankly, to me, he's been on his best behavior.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, this
for
is,
him, you mean?
For him that we know about. We have not heard his name in the news in over 2 years. We haven't. This fake vaccine card aside, we have not heard him get in any kind of trouble or be anything other than an upstanding citizen for 2 years. And I think that's what, if you're Bruce Arians and you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
he doesn't pay anybody.
Well, you know what? That's his business.
Well, that's not being a good person.
Yeah, but he settled that debt.
Okay. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He did settle
the
that.
$5,000. Yeah, he paid.
Yeah,
that.
He paid.
How about the artist? Did he pay her too?
Well,
okay.
I got no idea.
I'm not an expert on all things Antonio.
I'm not saying he's a good businessman. I'm saying he's staying out of legal trouble.
So he's been all right since throwing the furniture out of his apartment window?
Yeah, I'm saying he's better.
Look, you're not
come on.
over.
You want to bring up people's skeletons? Come on, go ahead.
We're just talking AB, man.
I know, but I'm just saying, he's not in any legal trouble. So he doesn't pay a chef. I mean, whatever. Maybe he lost his wallet or something.
Turn off Maz's mic.
Maybe he lost his wallet or something like that. Let's take a look at the AFC side, if we could, from the playoffs. If they were to start today, 3 more games in the regular season, by the way. You've got the Kansas City Chiefs. After all of this, they are the #1 seed right now in the AFC. Then the 2-7 matchup is an incredible one. The 2 is New England. The 7 is Buffalo. 3-6, the Tennessee Titans and the Chargers. And then the 4-5, the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, guys, this is setting up to be Kansas City and everybody else right now. Even though New England, I shouldn't say that. There's 4 teams there that I think legitimately could represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Kansas City, New England, Buffalo, Colts, and that's where and then Tennessee, if they get Derrick Henry back, I'd reevaluate that.
The way that I'm looking at the AFC Championship, I mean the AFC, I guess you could get there eventually. I'm going to stare at the board there so people don't get mad looking at the back of my head. If I'm looking at the AFC playoff picture, how it shapes up, Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the AFC to me. We've talked about that. I think people are now starting to come around with that. They're showing you more and more, and I think that last 10 minutes of the game, where you see in the last 10 minutes of the game, you see Patrick Mahomes put up 190 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's what you're used to from him. You're getting excited to see that. So I think that gives you a little bit more ease when you look at them as a complete team. The Patriots, you see what they've been able to do all year. Matthew Judon, probably the best free agent pickup in Lord knows how long. You see what Bill Belichick was able to do with Matt Jones and Josh McDaniel on offense and help him get settled into it. So you like them. They could potentially have a game. They could game plan very well because every game in the playoffs for football, it's not like basketball where it's like, cool, we'll just go regroup. If you're insert playoff team here, we'll go regroup and we'll play next game or next game. All you got to do is be good for 3 hours. And all you got to do is do that 3 to 4 times. I'm not saying that's easy. It isn't. But Buffalo, let's say they hit their stride. What did you always talk about hitting stride? You of all people, you talk about the Atlanta Braves hitting that stride at the right time. What if Buffalo figures it out this week?
They are figuring it out.
Look at the Chargers. Chargers won 2 good games. They're 2-0 in their last 2 games, including beating the Bengals down here. You get the Titans. Here's the what-if card. What if Derrick Henry makes a sudden appearance in the playoffs? Because it said 6 to 8 weeks. He's a mutant. He's a guy that may heal a lot faster than most people. He may have that X gene in there somewhere. And then the Colts. The Colts defense led by Darius Leonard. That's tough. He's got these guys going. Frank Wright has the offense
Hard knocks
going.
Tonight.
I might have to watch finally. And then Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is amazing. So if you look at the AFC for a 4-week period or 3-week period, any one of these teams could be in the Super Bowl for the AFC.
No doubt.
How'd you like to see the Colts-Pats again? Because I'm going to tell you what. This is what happened after that Colts game. Colts get out to a 20-0 lead. Patriots came back and finally got put away by Jonathan Taylor at the end of that game. Bill Belichick was so pissed at that game. He was very mad. He basically told the media, I'm done.
Patriots are going to win a rematch.
Yeah, well, listen. So he goes to the locker room. The next day he comes out and he apologizes to the media.
Being short, yeah.
Bill Belichick said, I'm sorry I was short, but there was really nothing good about that game. You know who spoke out about that game? Mac Jones. And he said, we did not have a good week of practice. We were not our best here. You know what they're saying in Boston? Belichick told him to say that because he has just been a robot up till this point in a press conference.
Yeah.
Just cliche machine. All of a sudden, now Mac Jones is saying, we were not ready to play in this game. So in other words, Belichick is talking through him to his team. To his team. I don't want to play those sons of guns again. I don't want to play them again.
No, but that's a real thing. Like Tom Brady has always had personality. So him and Mac Jones are slightly different in terms of personality-wise. But that's how Tom was when Tom first took over. Tom was quiet. Tom was cliche. Tom was a subject or a disciple of Belichick. It took a little while, and I guarantee you, to what you said, Bill started saying, hey, say this.
I need you to say this.
Hey, say this. Yeah. And then eventually Brady said, oh, the hell with this. I can run with it now that I'm 3 Super Bowls in.
How do you think that conversation goes? I mean, did Rex... Rex was just a wild card. He'd always say whatever he wanted to.
He's different than Belichick.
But would Rex ever say anything or Romeo Crennel and say, you know what, I kind of need you guys to speak for the team here a little bit. Does anything ever come back to you, thinking like that? Because like Belichick, I could see, well, Mac, these guys, this and the other thing. I think you need to go out there and tell everybody what the deal is.
I think Belichick is different in that sense. I feel like Belichick has been around a very, very long time, and he's been around the best of the best, and he's become the best of the best. So I think for him, he always wants to have control, especially if he sees a need for there to be something to be said that somebody may not be thinking. Guys like Pete Carroll, who coached one of the teams I was on, Jim Harbaugh, and then Rex, who was my favorite. They have so much energy and they say so much to us after practice, during meetings, that you can pick up a sense of what to say if you feel like you want to add something to your repertoire in a meeting or in a presser, or when you're talking at the locker room interviews. You can pick up from something like those guys because they're always giving you a ton of tidbits during meetings and during interviews. So not those guys, but Belichick, slightly different.
Quickly, if you had to pick today, Packers-Chiefs, Packers-Patriots.
I picked Packers-Chiefs at the beginning of the year. Yeah. I said Super Bowl I rematch.
He did.
Where was Super Bowl I?
It was in Green Bay.
In L.A.
It was in
where is Super Bowl, whatever number this is, it's in L.A.
I'm taking the Chiefs over both of them.
I mean, I
picked the Chiefs in the beginning.
Packers ain't losing.
But I picked the
Packers are not losing.
I think the Packers in the NFC are pretty darn, I don't want to say sure thing, but Packers are a clear favorite. And in the AFC, I do think, if you've got a strong defense, if you're the Colts, if you're the Patriots, if you're the Bills, you got a chance at Arrowhead.
You totally have a chance.
That is legitimately why I love the NFL over the NBA. Because soon as the NBA soon as the NBA playoffs are announced and you see 1 through 8, East and West, you know who's going to be in the championship. Right. It's not even a matter. Like it may be one team that can dethrone one of the teams, but it's always the same 2 teams that you look at. You're like, them and them. When you look at the NFL, literally for 3.5 hours, you just got to be in your A game and shock somebody and game plan them well, and you can create havoc.
Hey, guys, let me get to some Lions talk next. Jared Goff.
As we talk about the playoffs.
On the COVID list.
Next year, man.
You'll hear what Dan Campbell has to say about Goff and his health, and Dan Campbell on the coaching staff during COVID. I mean, look, got to be very difficult. You don't have any idea who you're coaching when you wake up in the morning or not. Who's testing positive, who you have, who you don't have. So incredibly difficult to make a game plan. You'll hear from the head coach of the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, in advance of the Lions and Falcons on Sunday in Atlanta. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes? Touchdown! What a play! Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet, the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of Folding. What is it? It's football and bowling mixed together. Throw a football and 10 bowling pins, knock them all down, and your team will be the winner. And, of course, the man that invented the game is right there. You can talk to him. He'll tell you about all the rules. His name is Chris Hutt. His wife, Noni Hutt. Great people, and they'd love to welcome you in to the Folding Warehouse. 2 ways to play, $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation, $120 just for 10 people and 2 hours you get to have it for. They have over 100 beers, the $2 mystery beer machine, and multiple full bars. You get to bring your own food in or have it delivered to the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. Come get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
He was in the meeting today with his, the iPad was there for him. So we have a seat laid out, his seat, and there's the iPad. So it's like he's there, I guess. Congratulated him on the last game, gave him a game ball, good job. And then same thing in the meeting. So it's like he's there. He's got the plan at home right now. He's looking at it, and it's kind of like when he had the flu a couple of weeks ago. You know, we had the iPad out there, you know, as the players are being called and run, and so it's like he's here as much as he can be without actually being in the building. So he's preparing that way, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, there are new COVID regulations as well in the NFL. All you need is a negative test now. The only thing is you could test positive for this virus up to, I believe, 6 weeks, maybe even in some cases 6 months.
Yeah.
You could have a positive test for that. So I'm not really sure which way to go, if Goff will be available or not. It doesn't sound like he's got too bad of a case of it, thankfully.
Yeah, that good old COVID stuff, man. Still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to think how these things work. But it sucks because I feel like he had a really good game last week. You would want him to continue that momentum and continue that confidence. Obviously, yeah, it may not leave if he doesn't play, but it's good to get back-to-back games. It's good to start stringing along a couple of these things. But, good the NFL has changed their mandates on certain things, but at the same time, they're still keeping the players and the people that work in the facilities and all around the NFL safe as well. So I think they're doing a good job.
And as this team heads down to Atlanta here, the Falcons, a 4.5-point favorite against
the first fully vaccinated team, by the way.
Atlanta
Falcons were the first fully vaccinated team.
And dollar hot dogs to boot.
Yep, no doubt. You get a $1 hot dog and $1 pop there.
It's a lot of 30-minute.
He's not trying to rip off
I'm a
anybody.
Falcon fan now.
Yeah, I know. I always have been. Arthur Blank. I mean, if you're
Deion Sanders, Brett Favre, original.
What's Arthur own?
Jesse Tuggle.
He owns Lowe's?
The Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bring those hot dog carts back then.
I mean, but nonetheless, they own Ford Motor Company here, so it's like that's a pretty good thing here too. I mean, you could probably get away with giving the people a $1 hot dog.
Yeah, it's true.
You might be okay.
Yeah.
That's why we still have the Thanksgiving Day game is because Ford.
Right.
Ford is
they own the Ford Motor Company. I think they could charge you $1 for a dog.
I think so.
But
hey, I got a $7 soda the other day, at least at the game.
I went to. Did I tell you?
Or was it $8?
I went to the high school football state playoffs. My nephew was playing for De La Salle.
Oh, yeah.
I got 4 bottles of water.
Let me guess.
And 4 soft pretzels.
$25.
No,
33.
more than that.
$60.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say $5 a bottle, and the pretzels got to be at least $6
$60.
each.
$60. You sure you didn't leave off something?
No.
You said 4 and 4?
Yeah, 4 bottles of water and 4 pretzels.
But they know you're going to get it. So
did you get any meat pies or kibbeh?
No
kibbeh.
No kibbeh.
You know what? That makes sense. Probably $8 for a pretzel. That's 30. What is it? 32 right there.
$5 for a bottle of water.
52
Yeah.
plus tax.
Yeah.
It's probably the fastest math I've ever done.
It's bad.
Total ripoff.
That's so bad.
Total ripoff. Tax.
That's why I just go enjoy the sweets.
Yeah,
and the pretzels were ice cold.
I think it was. No, the pretzels
the waters were warm.
Dude, let me tell you. At least if I'm going to pay $54, I think it was $54 or something like that. It was $54.60. I gave him $60. I might have gotten $6.
You better have good
Either
food.
way, I got 4 bottles of water and 4 pretzels.
And the pretzels were cold.
Dude, no, it was a damn good pretzel.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was heavily
You gotta
salted.
yes.
Did it come with the cheese?
I don't get the cheese. I eat it
Cheese
raw.
is an upcharge, man.
Raw.
How do you not get
Yeah.
cheese?
No, I eat it plain, raw, just heavily salted.
Cheese or mustard. You got to do one
Very
or the other.
nice.
You love your mustard.
Man.
Or beer cheese. Beer cheese
Oh,
is
that's the
good.
way.
Beer cheese.
Dying
Yeah,
right now,
there you go.
thinking
That's
about
Old
how you
Tools. Old Tools has got that.
and they're actually pretty good at those too.
Thinking about it now, I just I just had to say something about it.
I want a
hungry.
Now you got me
pretzel.
thinking about Sunday.
Maz, you want to get a pretzel?
Sunday at Old
I
Tools.
do. Go to the gas station.
What are we talking about? Oh,
All right,
Lions.
good luck with your audio.
What are we talking about? Lions.
The only team we talk about that makes us forget about and start talking about food. Come
Right.
on, let's get back on track.
I don't know if the Lions, without Jared Goff, if TB12 Tim Boyle plays, I don't think they really have a chance to win the game. But if Jared Goff plays in this game, I not only think they have a chance, I almost expect them to win this game.
Spread's only 4.5.
With the understanding that Jared Goff is not playing right now, by the way. So I almost expect this team to win this football game if Goff is playing. And again, that's where it makes it impossible for Dan Campbell to understand what he's dealing with. Here's what he had to say about coaching in COVID right now and just how difficult it is.
Yeah, we've got pretty much everything set up as to who's next in line. Certainly, Deuce would take my role over if it was me, and play calling, Lynn would handle it, and defensively, Coach Capers would, and so on. And hopefully, if you get into the third level of that, then we've got plans for that too. And my assistant Kevin Anderson's ready to call the whole game if needed to. So I know that happened last year. So, but yeah, we're prepared if it comes to that.
So that's Dan Campbell. If, in fact, he can't go for any reason. People are testing positive like crazy for this virus, the Omicron variant, if you will.
Yeah. Looking at the Falcons is just taking it back to if Jared Goff isn't allowed to play in TB12 2.0. We'll call him TB12 2.0. If he plays, how hard that defense has been playing, how well they've been playing for Aaron Glenn, how hard they played against the Cardinals. Yes, it was a home game, and yes, they were on a short week talking about the Cardinals, but it still was a beatdown of a really good team, and they didn't look special out there. Kyler Murray didn't look special. They didn't look special. They could beat the Falcons, I think, with TB12. I think the defense plays hard. You look at the games they played, they struggled against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got blew up by the Patriots. They got, beat up by the Bucs a little bit. They lost to the 49ers last week, similar fashion to how we lost, 31-13. They got blown out by the Cowboys, 41-3. These guys can get a butt whooping. If we can beat the Cardinals, who are tied for the best record in the NFL right now, if we can beat the Cardinals, we can go down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and we can beat the Falcons, even with a TB12.
And again, I think there's no replacement for winning, and I don't care about the draft pick. Look, they're going to get a top 10 pick. They're probably going to get a top 8 pick, top 7 pick, and ultimately probably a 95% chance of having a top 5 pick. None of that matters to me. Wherever you pick, you're going to get a good player. And I don't think there's that generational talent in this first round. I don't even think that Aiden Hutchinson at number 1 or Kayvon Thibodeau is a Myles Garrett type player. I don't put either of those guys on the level of a Myles Garrett. They're going to be, I just don't. So whether you pick 1st or 5th, it is what it is. I'd rather them win games now and have confidence moving into next year.
I understand the 1st through 5th, maybe even 1st through 3. I understand that. But saying, 7, 8, 9, I disagree with that. First of all, we won't get there. But I disagree with that.
Yeah, right. We won't get there.
Yeah. I disagree with that if that was the thought process, because you want the best players available. You want to have the chance to get the best players available. And looking at what you want, it's on the defensive side of the ball. You look at a Kayvon Thibodeau and the rushing ability that he has, and it's only going to get better. You look at Aiden Hutchinson, if he's there, a guy that's going to get better in the NFL and can do more things. He's really good at stopping the run as well as rushing the passer. Jordan Davis is a guy that, we'll see very soon, and that's big at Georgia or at Miami. But Georgia Bulldogs, All-American defensive interior guy. We haven't had a big guy like that in a very long time in Detroit. A guy that can be on the interior line, a guy that can wreak some havoc, a guy that can stop the run and help whoever is your pass rusher on the outside. I mean, look at what Ndamukong Suh was able to do for Ziggy Ansah. Ziggy had 12 sacks as a rookie. You know why he has 12 sacks as a rookie? Because Ndamukong and Nick Fairley are in that middle. They're clogging it up. So that's a guy. At 5 or at 4 or 5,
that was.
you have Kyle Hamilton. You have Kyle Hamilton, a guy 6'4", safety, 220 pounds.
I like him. He's a good player.
6'4", 220, and he's only getting better and better
5,
and
6,
better.
or 7.
I have Terry Fairitis.
No, you can get him. No, Terry Fair is a corner. This guy's a safety.
He's a safety.
Big difference. Big
safety.
difference.
And not a Jamal Adams safety that Pete Carroll gave the house up for to the New York Jets, and he came over and he's getting hurt, and all he does is a run stopper. This guy can track the football. This guy can line up against wide receivers as well as tight ends, and he can come up and make tackles. So you get in that first top 4 picks, there's some guys to be had. You start getting 7, 8, 9, that's where it gets iffy.
They might take a defensive player. They might need a defensive player. I will tell you, Alex, feel free to write this down on December 22nd, 2021 at 3:01 p.m. I will tell you that I believe the Detroit Lions will select Kenny Pickett with their first selection in the NFL draft, regardless of where it is. There's no need to discuss it. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
That's what I think. They're going to take Kenny Pickett with their first pick. Book it.
I hope you're wrong.
I'm just saying, and maybe I am, but I don't think I am. I will get to some college football next, Braylon. Okay. Some big news regarding COVID and the college football playoff. We'll get to that next.
Not the Gator Bowl.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday.
Oh,
you could never
hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us will make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? Braylon Edwards here from the bottom line, here to tell you how to find a career in a job that is always essential. That's right, the industry is the heating and cooling industry. Find out, visit northwesterntech.edu right now to find out how you can start off $77,000 out of the gate. To me, it sounds like a heck of a career. You're on your way to getting everything you want in life with a career, job, family, picket fence, White House. Well, go what? Visit northwesterntech.edu and you can find out how that is all possible.
All right. That's right.
I think I see smoke coming from my Island Park area.
That is
just lost some subscribers.
That is just my belief. I just don't. I don't see how they don't take a quarterback in this draft. And they're going to have the pick of the litter up top. Jacksonville's not taking a quarterback. Houston will. But you will have you pick above Houston.
Yeah, I mean,
right now anyway.
I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. I said it'd be good to get Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau in that 1-2 pick, and then with that second pick, use some of that draft capital to trade up to get Kenny Pickett. I was a big fan of that. I still think that can happen. I still think that is very possible, very feasible. But I don't know about with their first pick. I don't know if just taking just their first pick to draft Kenny Pickett. I think but it could be a stretch. But to your point, this is the perfect draft for something like that to happen because you're so unsure. You're looking at Kayvon Thibodeau early on in the year, and then you're seeing him now, and you're like, he only had 6 sacks. You look at Aiden Hutchinson, his name was nowhere in the top 10 at the beginning of the season, and even now am I wanting Aiden Hutchinson because he's a Michigan guy and it's down the street or up the street or sideways to Ann Arbor to Allen Park? Or am I wanting him because he is the best player in the draft? We don't need any offensive line because the left tackle from Alabama would be a darn good pickup. I can't think of his name right now. It'll lose me. Kyle Hamilton's another guy. Everybody you literally put up there in terms of the top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4, top 10, you can also negate them in the top 5 spots as well. So if it happens, it will be understood. It would just be tough. He's going to have a mean pro day or combine performance.
One of the reasons why I mentioned this, too, and we'll get to that college football news regarding COVID and the college football playoff coming up in just a little bit, but one of the reasons that I'm thinking about this, too, is because, look, Pickett, gaudy numbers at Pitt this year. 4,300 yards, 42 touchdowns
to 7
interceptions.
Yeah.
Gaudy numbers for a quarterback at Pittsburgh. And when you and Jake Butt were talking last week just about something that I would never even consider.
We got to get Jake Butt back on.
But you guys were talking about this. I would never have considered this. When you play in a bowl game, you're done. You're out of the mix in terms of pre-draft preparation until mid-January at least. And then you got to turn around and you have basically 6 weeks to get ready for your pro day or a combine or something like that.
I see where you're going.
That is something. Kenny Pickett has been getting ready for his pro day, for the combine.
For 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks already, and will have about 2.5 months of work to put himself together a nice, great pro day, a nice, great combine, doing everything, working on every skill that he needs to work on for 2.5 months to get ready to do the measurables and the weights and the throws and everything. And it's really hard when you're a quarterback league and you have such a high pick to not look at a shiny new quarterback that in the games too, by the way, he's not just a combine hero. In the games, this guy has done it. Now, look, they lost to Western Michigan this year, 44-41, and they lost to Miami, 38-34.
He didn't play defense.
But he didn't play defense. Yeah. This team has scored 31, 48, 30, 54, 27, 28, 52, 77, 41, 41, 51.
Are you looking at the basketball team score or is that Kenny Pickett?
That's what I'm saying.
just making sure.
This is Kenny freaking Pickett at Pitt. This isn't, some MAC score.
You've already given him a nickname, Kenny freaking Pickett.
Yeah.
What's his height and weight and all of that kind of jazz? Do you know?
Kenny Pickett is 6'3", 220.
6'3", 220. That's not huge.
It's not huge, but it's not
small. It's not Tua Tagovailoa.
It's not Russell Wilson. It's not Tua.
Yeah. It's not Kyler.
Zach Wilson.
It's not Baker. Not Kyler, not Baker.
What's Jared Goff?
6'4", 6'5".
He's a big man.
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5", I think. That's what they have him listed at.
You don't want to wait till next year, huh?
I don't. You're not. This team's going to win games next year.
Okay.
You're
but
not.
You already have draft picks for next year.
Okay, so I think one of the most overused things in talking about NFL sports, just trade up and get them.
How many times have you seen it happen? And to your point, how many times have you seen it happen in the past 10 years?
Seriously.
Solomon, which was when the 49ers moved up to get Solomon, and they whiffed on that, and then Mitchell Trubisky.
If you're a team that's
same draft, by the way.
If you're a team picking first or second next year, and let's just assume that C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young go 1-2, because most likely that's what's going to happen. As we sit here today, they're going to go 1-2. Yeah. If you're a team picking first or second in the 2023 NFL draft, and you are so quarterback desperate, but the Detroit Lions say, I'll give you the 10th pick and the 28th pick. So? And?
Yeah.
10 and 28? No, you're going to get your quarterback. Yeah. This team is going to be too good next year not to have the first and second pick. They will not have the first or second pick next year. And maybe they'll have the 4th or 5th or 6th pick. I think they'll probably ultimately have between 8 and 12 next year. But they're not going to have anything that would make a team picking 1 or 2 want to trade back to 10 or 12 and 26 to 28.
I
just don't buy it.
The teams that trade up to get those players, be it set player, insert defensive tackle, defensive end here, insert quarterback here. These teams, now you're too high. Come fix my chair. No, I'm joking. But the teams that they move up in the draft, they trade their draft capital, they sell out to get these players, they're usually already 75% to where they want to be, 60% to where they want to be. They're close enough to where they can smell it, to where they can sacrifice a couple more things or a lot more things and then go without for a couple years in the draft. The Lions aren't one of those teams. The Lions need these picks. The Lions need all this draft capital to actually draft guys to make them a better team and free agency. So they don't have that type of draft capital, to your point, to wait 2 years and then try to trade up for Bryce Young as well as C.J. Stroud, because they still aren't where they want to be. If they were the 49ers, when the 49ers did it with Solomon, well, they were already 75 to 80% where they wanted to be. And, oh, by the way, they got their quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo in that offseason, so they were able to trade up for defensive tackle Solomon out of Stanford. So they were close to where they want to be. The Lions aren't, so that's why it won't work.
And keep this in mind as well, guys. You're always going to take a quarterback that you believe in the first round. You don't wait to the second round to do it, because only in the first round do you get that extra year of team control. You do get a team option for a fifth year, only with first-round picks. So if you hit on a quarterback, or if you take a Kenny Pickett, let's just play it out. If you take Kenny Pickett, with the second or third or fourth or fifth overall pick, well, you could let him sit for the first half of the season, let Jared Goff play this thing out, and then you ultimately will have 4 years remaining with Kenny Pickett.
I really wish he was playing in the Peach Bowl. I really would like to have seen him one more time against, Michigan State. I know they don't have a great secondary, but they're a pretty damn good team. I would like to have seen him just play someone here that we know, because he's played teams. He hasn't beat a lot of good teams, Ryan. And I'm not saying
who's in front of you.
I know, and I'm not saying that makes or breaks you.
Who did Josh Allen
play
against?
It. No, I get it. I get it. Carson Wentz, you can go up and down.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You got me stumped on this one.
I get what you're saying. You're not going to find a quarterback. Like, very rarely will you find a quarterback in the round past one. Very rarely does it happen. It happened with Russell Wilson, and it happened with Dak Prescott. But even with Dak Prescott, just look at Dak Prescott. Like, it's so many.
Right.
It's so many.
Brady, of course.
Like, it's so many. Yeah, Brady is the
12 of the 60.
He's the unicorn. But there's so much that happens when you get out the first round. Like, look at the things being said about Dak his whole career. He's a manager. Can he get it done? Can he have the deep ball? Like, started the year off really good this year, but now look where he's at. Like, even with Russell Wilson, it's like, oh, look what happens. Russell doesn't have a running game, doesn't have a running back, blah, blah, blah. He's too short. There's always something when a quarterback's not in that first round.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you just want that guy to be in the first round so you can pretty much know he's going to be your guy.
Can you do me a favor? Can you throw up that playoff full screen one more time? If the season ended today, this would be the playoff mat. Kansas City first-round pick, Buffalo first-round pick, New England first-round pick, Chargers first-round pick. Tannehill was a first-rounder as well.
He's the first overall.
In the AFC, all 7 teams currently in the playoffs have a first-round pick at quarterback. And all 7 for 7.
And most of them are the number 1 pick overall, or 2.
Yep. In the NFC, Green Bay first-round pick, Dallas and Minnesota, no. San Francisco, Garoppolo, was he? No, he was not.
No, he wasn't.
Tampa, no. So, and then LA and Arizona, yes. So 10 of the 14 teams currently in the playoffs right now have a first-round pick at quarterback. And then the NFC, you look and you say, Brady's a unicorn. And then you got the 2 fourth-rounders in Dak and Kirk Cousins.
Oh, by the way,
those guys don't fall off trees every year.
By the way, the 49ers do have a first-round quarterback.
3rd overall on the roster,
Trey
right?
Lance.
I mean, he's 3rd overall. So say what you want about it.
It's a method to the madness.
Does picking a quarterback in the first round guarantee you anything? Abso-freaking-lutely not. But it does. Everybody's all into this analytics. It does give you a better option.
Some analytics for your butt.
Right. It does give you the better option, I think. I don't know. We'll get some college football playoff news next regarding COVID. Maz, you've got that. I still don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. Waiting for you to share that with us. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Great place, great people. That's right. Hey, you want to buy a car? Go there. If they don't have one for you on the lot, they will order what you want. You got to get these orders in too, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get them in as the cars come in. You want your name on that list, that's for sure. If you want a pre-owned car, any make, any model, on their pre-owned lot, and pre-owned cars have never been more valuable either, and you are sitting in something that's worth thousands right now. If you have any desire to sell your car right now, Les Stanford will buy it from you, drive on in, and you can get thousands of dollars real soon. Les Stanford, your authorized lease return center as well, so if you want to turn your car in, maybe your miles are getting close there to your agreement, Les Stanford, your authorized lease return center. Call them today, 313-565-6000, 313-565-6000, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, Les Stanford. Find new roads. Find them. All right, Maz, let us have it here. College football news regarding COVID in the playoffs.
This is from Bruce Feldman, excellent college football writer. Here's how it goes for COVID in the college football playoffs and the New Year's Six game. Start with the Fiesta and Peach Bowls. The college football bowl game and ESPN shall attempt to identify an alternate date. If they can't do it, then the game will be considered no contest. So they'll either try to find the new date or call it no contest. Now the ones we care about, the playoff semifinals, the Cotton and Orange Bowl. If one team is unavailable to play, the unavailable team shall forfeit the game, and its opponent would advance to the national championship game. So take the first game, Bama-Cincy. If one of them can't play, the other one gets the win, and they will go to Indianapolis to play in the championship. Here we go. If both teams are unavailable to play in one semifinal, so knock out Alabama-Cincy, let's say, the semifinal game would be declared no contest. The winner of the other semifinal game will be the champion of college football.
Wow.
Now, here we go.
Is that for this year?
This is this year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't play a game in Indianapolis?
No. Here we go. If three teams are unavailable to play, the semifinal game in which two teams are unavailable to play will be no contest. The one remaining team
will be champions.
Now, if the team's unavailability in the national championship game is determined after the playoff semifinals, if one team is able to play and the other is not, the game cannot be rescheduled, and they will be declared a national champion. If both teams are out, they will push it. The farthest they will push it is January the 14th. That's a Friday night.
Ooh, Friday night football.
Now, it is worth pointing out that the University of Michigan team, the entire University of Michigan team, scheduled to get their booster shots, I believe today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
They should have went with Fish.
They could have.
Could have.
That would have been dope. You came in with a story. That's good. That means they've been vaxxed fully for 6 months or so. That's good. That means Michigan football was on top of it, as I'm pretty sure most of the teams in the country are. But that's really good.
I don't know why they couldn't reschedule these things. I mean, it sounds a little like 2020.
Now, Dennis Dodd said, this is Dennis Dodd of CBS, due to the spread of the Omicron variant, the college football semifinalists that are being given the option of arriving 48 hours before the game on December 29th instead of going on December 26th. All media availability will be virtual. So you can go just 2 days prior to playing to your team, to Texas or Florida.
That's an interesting. I really don't know what to make of that, Tom. The experience for these kids. I mean, you just hope that everybody's healthy and you play, because I don't know about you, but I do not want Michigan to win the national championship because somebody else couldn't play.
But we'll take it.
Nah, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. I wouldn't want that.
Let's say hypothetically, all this is hypothetical anyway. Let's say hypothetically, Alabama and Cincinnati both had COVID. They both got pushed out, and this game became the championship. I'm damn glad we're playing Georgia and not Cincinnati.
Right.
Because if it was us in Cincinnati and Georgia and Alabama, they would never let Georgia and Alabama get COVID. But the fact that
allowed.
we're playing Georgia, if we beat Georgia and then they both got pushed out, glad we're playing Georgia. At least we can say we smoked Georgia.
On a side note, the Gator Bowl was going to be Wake Forest, Texas A&M. Texas A&M has dropped out because of COVID. This is to be played on New Year's Eve. They're trying to find somebody to hop in there and play Wake Forest in the old Gator Bowl, one of the old original games.
Wow, man, so crazy.
Something with Texas A&M.
So Michigan offensive lineman Andrew Stuber said at his media availability on Tuesday that the team was scheduled to get a booster shot today. And that, everyone was on board with it. The booster's out there now. We have full team booster shot tomorrow, so that'll be good. I think everyone understands the gravity of the situation. To have an outbreak now would be devastating to a lot of people. Understanding the concern, there is a big thing, so we have taken the proper precautions there. Shout out and kudos to the Michigan Wolverine football team.
Speaking about Andrew Stuber and the Michigan offensive line, they are awarded the 2021 Joe Moore Award.
How can you not?
Which celebrates the best offensive line in college football.
Might be the best trophy of them all
as well. It is by far the largest trophy I've ever seen in my life.
It looks like an entertainment center.
I thought
it does.
I didn't know what I was looking at initially. I was like, what is that, a piano?
It looks. It does. It looks like one of those pianos that you flip up, like where the dock is. I was looking and I said, Jesus Christ. Now here's the question. How do they get a share of that? Because I know it's not 5 of these things.
I think it's just in the facility.
So so that means
and their name goes on the plaque. There's a plaque
I would find a way to get it for a weekend. Here's the other thing about it. They make one of these every year.
Oh wow!
Think about that. They make one of these every year. This is an interesting piece of artwork. The wood, the graph, they make one of these every year?
I'll tell you, I don't know how they make the Bolitnikov every year because they got to go get some stone or something. I mean, that thing was the heaviest.
Yeah, that was.
It was like picking up 10 cinder blocks.
That was 100 pounds.
The Bolitnikov might be heavier than this. It might be
crazy.
Hey, listen, my girl Patty P, who tipped me off to that Bruce Feldman article, she says most of the Omicron cases are in fully vaxxed or boosted people. So she's like, hopefully it's going to be all right for Michigan, but that is not good news that the players are getting boosted right now.
Well, I think we say that because the only people testing right now are these, you can't even get a test right now. You got to wait hours to get a test in line at any of these urgent care centers. So, that's why the NFL isn't testing anymore, because they're the only ones testing. Right? All these athletes, they
got all the tests.
They got all the tests.
The regular people can't get them.
Can't get it until you're sitting in line for an hour for a test? No, thank you. I've got better things to do. Make it easier for me to get tested. That's how I feel about it.
I say if you feel good, don't get tested.
That's exactly what the NFL's policy is.
That's the way it should be.
That's the official policy of the NFL, and I don't disagree with it.
It should be the official policy of the world.
Well, maybe we'll get there one day.
I had a funny joke, but
can't go to Canada without a test, Maz.
Alex had an ingrown toenail. His mother made him go for a COVID test. Alex had an ingrown toenail, but he had to go for a COVID test.
Well, look, if you are with somebody that's I don't know what
he has symptoms.
Ding, but look, I don't know what Alex's situation is, and no need to discuss this on the air. But if Alex has symptoms and he's around somebody that's in an at-risk category, it is absolutely something that he should do is get tested. I'm not really around, so everybody's situation is different,
It's good. It's kind of like when you date, you just wait for her.
Look at this guy. Who's better than this guy, right?
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
So the college football thing is out there. We can continue on with that. I do have a sidebar conversation I wanted to ask you that I did not get to on Monday, and I want to ask it to you now if I could.
What is it?
And that's in regards to Tiger and Charlie Woods, okay?
Oh, my God.
The twins?
Look,
let's get after it.
There's a part of me, most of me, absolutely loves this situation.
But
there's a tiny part of me that says, is this too much too soon for this young man? I'm going to ask you that.
Okay.
Coming up, because I think you can have
if it is, he's with the right person.
Right, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Charlie.
Ermanni and Edwards, bottom line.
Welcome
meeting. Back.
Show meeting.
Show meeting. Here, look.
Let the fans in, man.
I wanted to get to this on Monday. And honestly, I'll never deliberately try to lie to anybody, anything that comes out of my mouth. I truly believe everything that I say. And I don't know if I am forcing myself into this other way of thinking about this. I'm working that out, that thought process.
I think you are.
Out on the air. I'm like working through my own thoughts on the air.
You have kids and you wonder, is it too much? Because you're watching that like that was your son kind of sort. I get it.
That's exactly right.
I get it.
So Charlie Woods at 12 years old looks like he could freaking win the Masters right now.
It's amazing.
Right? I mean, it is incredible.
Tiger was winning Pro Tours at 13.
Yeah,
so
look,
it's like right up to
it's incredible what this kid is doing. There's a video on Twitter, and we cannot show it to you because the PGA Tour has strict regulations and will pull us off of YouTube for the day.
That's why I don't
if
like
we
golf.
show it to you. That's why we don't talk a lot of golf, because we can't show the video.
That's why it sucks, because I love golf.
The mannerisms, everything about Charlie Woods at 12 is exactly like the incredible champion that Tiger Woods is. Period, bar none. You've never seen anything.
Best athlete ever.
You've never seen anything like it. I'm wondering, what are we, or what is Tiger Woods doing to the kid emotionally? You aren't that good unless you spend every waking moment with a golf club in your hand.
Yeah.
You aren't that good because you're going to 10-year-old birthday parties, jumping up on bouncies with your friends. You're not that good if you're running around playing football and playing basketball and playing baseball. You're not that good unless all you do is play golf. And I, as a parent of a 6 and a 4-year-old, excuse me, I think about the pressure that's bestowed upon this kid. One, to be Tiger Woods' kid first and foremost.
Starts there.
And then two, to practice as much as you are. And I don't know his practice schedule, but I can tell you, you watch Charlie Woods play golf, and I can tell you he's playing a lot of golf. And then just, being on TV, playing in rounds. The expectation now, after watching Charlie Woods play in this tournament over the weekend, is that the only person to beat Jack Nicklaus's record is not Tiger Woods. It's Charlie Woods. That is the expectation in golf, and I don't think that's
at 12.
At 12, and I don't think that's me saying something. I think every golf fan who watched that video and watched this kid play golf over the weekend now looks to Charlie Woods and says, "This is the kid that's going to beat Jack, not Tiger." Is that too much? I'm working that out in my own mind.
I think you have a reason to think that way. I think there's a lot to what you're saying. I mean, legitimately, especially the era that we live in. We live in the social media era. So this guy, like, good or bad, he's going to be taking a lot of criticism he's already taking criticism, now from a lot of jackasses, but it's already started. The reason why I have firm belief that he's going to be okay is because what I saw in Tiger Woods 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the actual PNC championship, it's when he announced that he was playing. Mm-hmm. When he did the press conference, and he talked about, yes, I'm going to play with Charlie. It's going to be great to get out there with Charlie. It's going to be great to play again. Before I even approached the thought of playing, I talk to my family. I talk to Charlie. I talk to, get his estranged family. He talked to everybody. He's such a different guy than he used to be. It's kind of like what we saw of Kobe right before Kobe passed away. Tiger Woods is entering that where he's a family man. Like, he's with Charlie. He wants to protect Charlie, but he also wants to let Charlie have as much fun as he can. Charlie is begging him to play golf, and Tiger's like, hey, you know what comes with that. You know if you're going to play, if I'm going to let you play, it's going to be a certain way. I think Tiger is in a position now to be able to help Charlie go through this process, pull him back when he needs to be pulled back, just like how Venus and Serena's father, King Richard, how he didn't let them play for 3 years in tournaments. He didn't let them play. He said, no, not yet, not yet. I think that Tiger's in that position where he will be able to pull Charlie back if he felt the need for rest, if he felt the need that he was getting exhausted, that he was wearing himself out like a lot of young athletes do. I think Tiger's now in that position to where he's going to help Charlie. It's going to be tough for Charlie, but that's the life you were born in. As soon as you came out the womb, there was pressure. I think Tiger is in a position where he's going to be the best father and best coach that Charlie could have now.
Maz, before you comment, let me just say that watching Charlie Woods play golf, too, it looks like the kid absolutely loves what he's doing. So I wanted to make that very clear, too. I'm just kind of talking out loud here because when you're sitting,
it's barbershop talk.
It's barbershop. When you're a 40, 50, 60-year-old man and you're sitting there, that 12-year-old's going to beat Jack Nicklaus's record. I just think that's an incredible amount of pressure, as if it's not already hard to be Tiger Woods' kid.
I don't even think that you have to worry about Jack's record. I just want to see this kid play. I can't wait for him to play. I can't wait to see Tiger Woods play in a major because I think he will play in a major again. He looks like he is in unbelievable shape. This kid is not – let me take you to high school games. Let me take you to travel volleyball games. And these parents, and they hire these agencies to come look at their kid. Oh, yeah, your kid's going to be really good. Yeah, but give me $5,000, and I'm going to make sure I get him a scholarship or her a scholarship somewhere. The parents are what really push their kids, and a lot of times they burn out.
They're pimping their kids.
I've seen friends of mine burn out their daughters in softball. Plenty of them. My kid tell me, Dad, I don't want to play on that team. They play too much. Okay, we'll find you another team then, with your friends, that you could play less and still enjoy the game. This kid just has Tiger and his mom, Elin. First of all, the kid's going to be dynamite looking. The kid is going to, if you don't play a game of golf, he's going to be a trillionaire just on YouTube and TikTok and all of that stuff. This kid is a player. I cannot believe what I'm watching. It looks like I'm watching Tiger, just a shorter version of Tiger Woods, and it's awesome.
The other thing about it, too, Ryan, I'm sorry, Maz, I didn't mean to cut you off. Man. The other thing about it is he's 12, and he's playing at that level. Look at the stands. You just got
everything.
You just got
does. The way he rubs his nose,
his mini,
everything.
His doppelganger of a miniature version. But every individual that's on the tour now, whether you're looking at Jordan Spieth, whether you're looking at Jason Day, whether you're looking at Dustin Johnson, whether you're looking at Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods, Justin Thomas, insert FedEx Championship golfers into this conversation, they all started at 4, 5, 6. They all had the same type. Now, they didn't have the pressure that Charlie's going to have. It's a different type of pressure. But they all started golfing in that realm. They all started golfing on those tours. They all started golfing on those. I can't think of the word, but just training and practicing and sessions and those type of programs. That's the word. They've all been on those type of programs. They didn't just start golfing at 12, 13, and you're looking like he's already at that level. They were already into those type of programs at the same time as Charlie. So it's normal. And the good thing about it is he has Tiger to help him through that process.
You got it.
So it's very normal for parents to put kids in things now. The difference with Charlie versus all those is not only does he not have to worry about the pressure so much, because his dad is the best in terms of best position he's ever been in as a parent, as a relaxed individual in society now. Tiger's no longer the guy that's just purely focused, purely golf, and some other stuff.
John Daly's kid is pretty good too.
He is.
Let me ask you, man. I think you've got a hell of a perspective. I mean, Stan Edwards,
absolutely,
University of Michigan running back, very good. One of those names that will live on in Michigan football lore for a long time around here. Everybody knows who Stan Edwards is. Played 6-7 years in the NFL with the Houston Oilers and the Detroit Lions.
Third-round draft pick back when he still had 13 rounds.
I mean, talk about you got a unique perspective of something that, on a small, I mean, not Tiger Woods, but you understand the stress level or the, what am I trying to say here? The expectations. Stan Edwards
haters,
kid,
jealousy. Envy,
and then ultimately to your brothers to come up after you too. Yeah. That's something as well. I mean,
so funny story. To answer your first question, it was tough, but I wanted it. My father, first sports I did were track, baseball, and tennis. First things I did, wouldn't let me play football, kept me away from football. I just kept begging and kept begging and kept begging. And finally, he let me play when I was 12. Same age. I begged to play. He let me play for the West Side Cougars when I was 12 years old.
Oh, man, I know a couple of people for the West Side Cubs, but I don't know anybody about the Cougars. I played for the
Cubs as well. It was Cougars, I played 1 year, now I played 2 years with the Cubs. But I had to beg to play, but I wanted to play. I wanted to get good. I understood the time I had to put in. When Dad said something, I understood that it was gospel. But I also had, like, my mom and my stepdad and my stepmom as well, that had some fun, that can infuse fun into my life. So they infused the fun so that I didn't just have to worry about practicing in school and books and seriousness. So I think he has that type of setting. Talking about Charlie, he'll be okay. But it is a real deal because, you see, I played after my father, then Berkeley played after me, and Bailey played after me, and ran track after me, and it was like a cycle and a cycle. My sister Brooklyn, who was in the studio yesterday, shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn looked at us as robots, and she said, "Oh, hell no, I don't want anything to do with sports." And she was a dancer. She danced and had some fun, and now she's at Michigan State. Go Spartans, just for my sister. So, but she saw it. Like, she saw what we went through, and she was like, nah, I'm good. So it is like that though.
JT on YouTube. Can you imagine if Tiger Woods caddies for Charlie later in life?
Yeah.
Justin Thomas' father caddies for him sometimes.
I mean, look,
he ain't Tiger.
If Charlie Woods, but no, he's not. I don't know if Tiger could handle the bag. No, but just physically, I don't know if he can handle the bag.
He can handle. He's a monster
with his back, with his leg. I don't know if he can do it.
That's tough.
That's a hell of a thing for 4 days in a row.
That's tough.
I don't know if he could physically do it. So that would be the only
reason. Team Woods, then he'll figure something out.
But kind of like Earl. Earl would follow them on the course.
Or Tiger will have a radio tell him, "All right, this is what I need you to do, Charlie. This is what you do here."
That's the way you go in golf, Maz.
That's going to be the interesting part. Is once he gets to, because it's going to be all fun and love when he goes to Stanford, because let's call this, we know he's going to go to Stanford, following Dad's footsteps, as he should. Be dope. He's going to join the tour early, as he should. We know
join right now.
Once he becomes pro, that's where it's going to be interesting to see how involved Tiger is in terms of coaching him, because he's going to have a coach that's not Tiger at some point. That's when it's going to be involved.
Why?
You said what?
Why?
Because I think some. Like, my dad was never my football coach.
Tiger's not going to coach and play.
Some former players, they don't want to literally get into it where you can get into an argument or you get into it gets to a space where you guys are conflicting and you're bumping heads, and it can ruin the relationship.
Sure.
That's going to be the interesting part. Does he hire a coach that Tiger approves and he backs off and just kind of gives some tips here and there, or does he stay there and they try to figure it out and risk the conflict of interest?
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
And a miraculous catch! Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hey, gang, I want to let you know about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Ooh-wee. Saw my girl Megan today. How about it? Megan treated me real good. Got the old hot lather neck shave. Also tightened it up a little bit up top here and around the sides. That's what happens here. Man, you just walk in here, you sign in, you sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee. That's what's up. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week, 10 to 8, several locations in over 100 locations nationwide, several of them here in the Metro Detroit area. All you got to do, look them up online or, of course, walk in anywhere. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Also, I'd like to let you know about our friends at Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. 90 freaking years.
Man, that's a long time. Long time.
You played offense, Braylon, but I'm sure you can appreciate defense. Because,
hey, man, I played with a guy named Darrell Reeves.
That's right.
Know something about defense.
And a good defense beats a good offense all the time, and that's what Guardian Alarm is going to provide for you. You stick that black and yellow sign in front of your house, you know what it says? Stay out.
Come on.
That's right, it does.
What?
It says stay out,
There
Guardian Alarm. 24/7 local monitoring, convenient features lets you look in on your home, control your lights, lock your doors, unlock your doors, all that good stuff.
Oh, with the phone?
Yep. You want to know what number you call, Fish?
I do.
You call
Ryan Ermanni.
You ready?
What's that number?
Braylon, it's 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Hold on. Can you say it again for me?
It's 1-800-STAY-OUT.
I still quite didn't hear you.
Stay out.
What is
1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out of here. Stay out. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out of COVID.
And never
Don't go to my
Guardian
Boxing Day.
Alarm, local security experts. Stay out
Ask
of
for
here.
Jason.
There you go. Alarmed and guarded, baby.
Hey, Riley Patterson, congrats. NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. I told you we got our kicker. We got our kicker. 7 straight field goals for Riley Patterson.
Okay.
Here's his quote. I love it here. I love this place. I love Detroit.
Wow.
If you're a kicker, you
Where's
should
he
love
from,
a kicker
Riley?
because we
Riley
love our
Patterson.
kickers.
Where's he from?
As far as I know, he's from the practice squad of the Patriots. I don't know where he played. I guess I could look him up. Fish, get on that, please.
All right, cool.
Riley Patterson.
Very
This is a great
good.
place to be a kicker because we've had so much success with kickers.
Heck
We
yeah.
love our kickers in Detroit.
I love it. Well, because we've had some good ones. They've been some of our best players in franchise history.
Jason,
you go back to
Matt.
Eddie Murray, Jason Hansen, Matt Prater. I mean, you're talking about some of the most solid kicking kickers in the history of the NFL, and we've had them right here in Detroit.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is up for offensive rookie player of the week as well.
Wow.
I'm picking him up in fantasy this week. I'm going to play him.
It's going to be a good week to pick him up.
Guys, this is my final broadcast of the year.
Oh, my.
Did it come and go that fast?
Yep. I will be back with you on Monday, January 4th. Fish?
Do you want to learn about Riley Patterson?
Yes, please.
He's from Memphis. He's 6'0", 190 pounds, 23. He's a rookie. And I'll find his location.
We went to Memphis.
Big guy.
Okay.
Who's better than you, Fish?
Thank you.
Everybody.
Nobody. You got to have some confidence, Fish.
Nobody's better than you, Fish.
But this is my last broadcast of the year, and obviously, I mean, I said at the top of the show, I want to thank everybody, and hopefully you stick around. Braylon and Maz, you'll be here tomorrow, and then, of course, next week we've got guys like Easy and Nick Leach and
Alex will still be here.
Alex will be here. These guys
I might pop in a little bit. Who knows?
Braylon might pop in.
Braylon, pop in.
Somebody was giving me stuff last week, so I might pop in.
Give these guys a listen. They're really, really good young kids that help keep us
hungry,
help keep the fire going under our butts a little bit too. So they are hungry. But I just wanted to the college football playoff games to me. That first game, I don't think will be close. I don't see a way in which Cincinnati hangs with those guys. So I'm going to give you my predictions on these games. I don't. They might be able to hang in there for a quarter or even a half. But I believe Alabama runs Cincinnati out of the gym. I mean, like to the tune of I think this one could be 35-7 at halftime. And then whatever happens in the second half. But I find this game to be a 35-7 game at halftime, and Alabama runs away 52-13, something like that, 52-14, something like that.
Everyone talked about Georgia all year. Georgia was the best team in college football. That was the consensus. No matter where you were from, you could be from up north. Everyone considered Georgia the number one team in college football all year. They also said Alabama was done. They said it was over for Nick Saban. He had no defense. Bryce Young was young. He was talented, but he wasn't ready to see a defense like Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They beat those jokers by 21 points, and you're talking about a world beater defense.
They took a foot off the break too,
and took the foot off the break in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
It is no reason why Alabama won't take that same energy to a team that they definitely don't believe can hang with them. I legitimately agree with you, and I think they could put 60 on them by the end of the game, because I don't think they'll take the break off, because they want to do as much as they can. They want to get that rhythm back. They want to get that feeling. Something about when you see a lot of points on the scoreboard and you know you did it, you're like, this is what we're supposed to do. Like when you see 50 on the scoreboard, you're trying to get it every time now. When they play against Cincinnati, the Bearcats, they're going to try to put 50, 60 points on them, and guess what? They're going to.
I'm going to disagree with you guys.
Sure.
I think Cincy has been an underdog all year to all of us, a team that hasn't lost a game. They play the teams in front of them, and they've beaten them. They beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is a top 10 team. I think they'll give Alabama a definite close first 30 minutes, and we'll see how good they are in the second half. I do not think they get blown out. Maybe Alabama might cover late, but I think Cincinnati hangs in there. Luke Fickell is a hell of a coach, and he's got a heck of a quarterback there. And here's their time to shine. I am worried. I am worried about Michigan running the ball against that defensive line of Georgia, though. That's what I'm worried about.
I love when people say they play the teams that are in front of them, because it is definite truth in that statement. But that's like saying the minor league baseball or AAA team that's undefeated, but they won the games that were in front of them, and then they went out and they played the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, the Yankees are the Yankees. That AAA team is that AAA team. The Yankees will crush them. Same thing with the Bama and Cincinnati. That is minor league, talking about the MAC or the group of five, versus Bama, a team that's won a national championship, 7 times in the or 6 times in the last 12 years?
Nothing against Bama.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's the minor league versus the major leagues. You're not going to take the team in the minor leagues over the team in the major leagues. Not to disrespect Cincinnati, but let's call a spade a spade.
As far as the Michigan Wolverines go, I think they win the game outright.
What makes you think so?
I think they're a team of destiny. I think they do everything right. They play defense, they run the ball, and they're able to convert on third down. And I think whoever converts the most third downs in this game, that's the team that's going to win the football game. I don't believe in Georgia's ranking. I think they've been okay this year. I think they've been way overblown. I don't believe in Kirby Smart in a big game. I don't believe that Georgia, when punched in the mouth, has the ability to punch back. I don't think offensively they're anything special.
Have you seen their D-line?
Yep. And they have not played a quarterback that's been any good outside of Bryce Young all year long.
Well, they're going to say, hey, Cade, you going to beat us? That's what they're going to do.
And I will take my chances with Cade freaking McNamara.
Okay.
I'm not going to go so fairy tale as to the team of destiny, although they seem that way, so I see why he says that. I'm going to go in a different direction. All year, they have gotten better and better and better and better.
Yes.
They have stepped up to every single challenge and everything that was said. Said we didn't have any tight ends, insert, Schoonmaker, and all right at the perfect time. Said, kicker was always good. Said we couldn't throw the ball down the field. Well, Cade McNamara found a way to get 385 yards, and we were one bad play call as well as one fumble away from winning that game as well. You talked about the Penn State game. This is when Michigan loses these type of games. They've had a history under Jim Harbaugh losing these type of games. Well, they put in the play by Josh Gaddis that they've been working on for 2 years and executed perfectly at the right time. Insert Josh Gaddis. This is an offensive coordinator that there hasn't been a lot of faith. There's always, next year. Well, when's that year going to come? Starting with that Michigan State game, which was a really good call game, especially in the first 3 quarters. he got better, and with new surprise after new wrinkle after new wrinkle after new wrinkle. You look at the play, like you look at the play against Ohio State, the first touchdown. You're like, where the hell did that come from? Insert the Big Ten championship. Oh wait, I forgot Braylon Edwards played quarterback his last 9 games in high school, leading them to win states. He keeps adding these wrinkles at the right time. He keeps knowing how to use J.J. McCarthy at the right time. I'm telling you, that is why I have faith in Michigan. I think they're going to win a close game. I think it's going to be 38-34, although I think Michigan will control the majority of the game. Josh Gaddis has found wrinkle after wrinkle, week after week, and has gotten better and better. That's why I like that. And oh, by the way, who's the best offensive line in the NFL? I mean, in college football?
Michigan Wolverines.
At least that's what the trophy says.
Who's the best defensive line in college football?
I'm going Michigan 30.
We got better stats than them.
I'm going Michigan 38.
You guys are way high.
And I
think it's going to be low.
The team total for Michigan in this game is 17.
Yeah. It's going to be low, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's low.
I am going with,
take the under.
Yeah, I think Michigan, I think the game will be like 17-7 at half. 17-7 at halftime, I think. And I think Michigan wins the game 38-10.
Okay,
I'm blowout.
I appreciate your optimism. I ain't going to have. I said 38. But the reason why
you need a vacation.
The reason why I have numbers like that is just because whenever you're playing a team, you're not used to seeing a new team. And, you know, for Michigan, Georgia is a new team. Hell, when's the last time Michigan played Georgia?
38-10 Michigan wins.
So what I'm saying is, you always have those random touchdowns when people are out of spot, out of play because they're not used to seeing certain things. And you know, in playoff games, everybody's bringing their best. Everybody has scouted the opposition, so they're going to find the wrinkles. So there'll be some random touchdowns early on. The game will sneak up to 38, I'm telling you. Mark my words. 38-34.
Maz's bottom line videos of the day next.
Oh, they are good.
It's Ermanni and Edwards.
Oh, man. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I'm aware thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us will make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, man, it is that time of the day. The holidays are here, and what better thing to do with your family members, your friends, and loved ones than to drink some Gypsy vodka.
Ooh-wee.
That's what. Oh, in fact, actually now, it's a double spot. What if you mixed a little Gypsy vodka with a little Cintron? That's what I heard the mix was. So tonight, I'm going to have to get that try and report to you guys tomorrow. But Gypsy vodka, oh, man, this stuff is good. It's gluten-free, 50 formulas. Mike and Adam tried to get into it. We're a little bit gassed. It's the holiday season. Corn distilled 6 times with artesian spring water. Man, this stuff is good. Here you go. Gypsy vodka. Go into your local neighborhood's liquor store. Ask for Gypsy vodka. This stuff is amazing. But remember, if you're going to party, drink responsibly. Gypsy vodka.
Please do.
How about the catch as I was talking?
Alex, get that ball. It's in your little hole there.
All right. Oh, guys, I love you guys.
I do
love
too,
you, man. Merry Christmas.
Man. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy
Feliz
New Year.
Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Maz, your bottom line videos of the day.
All right. Let's start it off with a little Christmas present from me to you guys. It's the All Madden show on Fox.
Oh.
This is what it's kind of look like.
I'm watching it with my pajamas on, buddy.
It was December 23rd of 1972, and the Immaculate Reception is going to be a huge part of this show. Check it out. I watched it in my white T-shirt.
In my white tee.
Last chance for the Steelers. Bradshaw.
When a guy crosses a goal line, it's either a touchdown or it's not.
Bradshaw. trying to get away. And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off.
They didn't call a touchdown. They didn't know if it was a touchdown.
I said, I know you don't know. I'll tell you. It was a double touch.
So now the referee is on the phone, and he makes a call to someone.
And then he comes back out of the dugout, and he signals touchdown.
Let's begin the one-odds on this one.
Not that I carry old grudges.
Bothered me then, bothers me today, and will bother me until the day I...
There's no way.
I cannot wait.
That game, if I remember correctly, that game was in Pittsburgh, correct?
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that they were not going to count that as a touchdown for that team.
Here's the backstory. And you heard John Madden.
Wherever it was at, it would have been called that way.
John Madden, you heard him. This is what happened. When Frenchie Fuqua touched that ball, and it bounced off Jack Tatum and him simultaneously, and Franco caught the ball and went in. Jim Tunney was the referee. I'll never forget it. And he gets on the phone with the whoever was upstairs. They didn't have replay back then as far as replay reviews or whatever. So basically he comes out 5 minutes later and he says touchdown. The rumor was Jim Tunney said, how much security do we have? None? Okay. Touchdown. And he put his two hands up.
No way.
Yeah, that was basically what he said. John Madden will take it to his grave that's what happened.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, I could believe that. There are certain places where you don't want to be in that spot. You never want to be in the spot where you have to make a call like that against the home team.
Philadelphia is one of them.
But certain places, you got to ask questions like that where you're like, hey, I'm sorry, what's the security looking like? Oh, the hell with that. Touchdown, let's get out of here.
Here's a Mazawey for you. That day was December 23rd. My mom's out Christmas shopping. My dad
you
and
were
I,
at the game?
My dad and I are watching it in our living room.
Oh.
It's a Saturday before Christmas. So we're watching that game. My mother walks in with the Christmas presents. My dad is slumped back in the chair like this in his white V-neck T-shirt. The color has run out of him because, of course, we had the Raiders that day. And I kept telling him, Dad, don't worry. It doesn't count. It's not going to count. And then they put their hands up for the touchdown. Sorry,
man.
Dad. We got screwed.
Yeah, your
poor Sammy Maz.
Dad was pissed at you that day.
Sammy.
And my mother, Merry Christmas, hon, as she's coming in with boxes under her arm. Meanwhile, Dad, I don't know what the hell he had on that game. I'll never, in a million years, forget that day, ever.
Whatever he had on that game, you had to take those boxes. She had to take those boxes back.
I love it, man.
That game is always in my heart and head. I'll never leave.
Right back to Woolworths.
You're not kidding, man.
Damn it.
You are not kidding, brother.
Oh,
hey,
man.
let me take you to a feel-good story that happened in Ohio, actually. So here's a feel-good story in Ohio. There's a guy that purse snatched from some older woman. He gets her purse. He runs out of this supermarket. And who tackles him? None other than a Michigan man. Check this out. There he goes. There he goes. Citizen arrest.
That's what I'm talking about.
He tackles the guy, and now he starts pummeling him.
Oh, wow. Did he? Oh, he did throw a punch.
Keep watching him.
Oh, a kick.
Keep watching him. Now the guy's going to try to get up and run away. Here comes some more people. Here comes a kid that takes the purse. Okay, I got the purse. Okay, you keep beating him up.
And look at all these people just watching.
Now the cops are on their way already.
This Michigan guy's had a rough year. He's getting
on their way
out.
/ 25 minutes away.
Oh, no, you're not getting away.
No.
Here he comes. Now he's going to hold him. Watch.
The one lady that gets into the frame is one holding the baby.
Bring this up now.
He's like the guy on In the Heat of the Night.
And he's probably never ran that fast in his
This
life.
is the sheriff office now.
He looks like the sheriff in the Heat of the Night.
He does. Carol O'Connor.
We didn't get there
Archie Bunker.
You took and made what we call a citizen's arrest. And you make us very, very proud. Everybody.
Where's that cash reward at?
You see the old English D on his shirt?
I see it.
Love this
Thank
kid.
you for what you've done.
He saved the day.
Look at that. What a good
That's
Samaritan.
There's a feel-good story in Ohio.
Oh, here's something in his eye.
You guys are right.
There he is with the lady. Oh, my hero.
Who said we have problems in this country?
Look at that.
Watch this video.
Isn't that sweet?
If Cleveland can get it right, I think Ohio, I think the world can get it right. You know what I love about that is he looks down at the award. He's like, dang, that doesn't look like I can spend that. He's like, that doesn't look like
That's
cash.
all cash.
No,
He's like, but I'm joking.
No.
Brian, I'm joking.
Here, Sonny, here's a $5 bill for you.
Oh,
The lady
man.
probably tipped him $5.
She probably did. It's like driving Miss Daisy.
Here's some coupons, honey.
It's like driving Miss
Here,
Daisy.
buy some Oreos, honey.
Shut up. It's $3.59, buddy.
Oh my God! All right, gang. Hell of a day. Hell of a week, and incredible. Braylon, get us out of here.
You know what? Since this is your last day, you get us out of here.
All right, man. You look.
All right.
I said it at the start of the show and throughout the show. This show does not happen without you guys, man. So I just want to thank each and every one of you that's found us, that's taken the time to tell a friend about us, that spends time on the YouTube chat, that tweets to us, that watches us, and what we're trying to do here at Woodward Sports. We really believe is something special. And I got to tell you, working with Braylon Edwards every day, and Tom Mazawey and Alex and Fish, but specifically Braylon, has given me so much joy. And I love this show. I love this network, and I love these people, and I love you as well. So, and that's the bottom line.
Hey. Happy Festivus,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
I'll see you.
They'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the 4th.
We
Go
got
Blue.
Stick in the house tomorrow with Braylon and I. See you tomorrow, folks.
86-78 with the ball. Price, he loses it. He made a move, and Lawson Aikens got it. To Christie, slams it home.
And that should do it. Great turnover for touchdown by MSU.